to survivable action. Tuesday morning. It's 9:27. I spotted survivaballs in the water. Survivaballs are in the water. Could you tell me a little bit about the survivaballs, sir?
Well, it's an all-terrain gated community for one that will protect you from the many coming disasters of climate calamity.
Would you buy a survivaball?
I would. I have to look out for myself.
Well, we call ourselves the Yes Men. We're here this morning because we were doing a water launch of our Survivaballs, which is basically a thing that shows up in our movie, The Yes Men Fix the World. But we thought that we discovered accidentally that they work really well for civil disobedience because they attract attention. And so we thought that we would sit down, basically have a sit-in on the UN. But since they've got such a huge perimeter around the UN, we had to do it as a waterborne action.
Yeah. If you sit down in front of a door on a red carpet or something like that, they're very hard to deal with. The cops don't know what to do with them. They grab them and they don't know what they're grabbing. So it makes for a really fun scene, and the whole arrest procedure becomes a very fun thing to watch.
We got an opportunity to speak at a conference on catastrophic loss, and we were to represent Halliburton. And so we had to think, catastrophic loss is basically the insurance industry, and they're dealing with things like increased disaster as a result of climate change. So we had to think, what is Halliburton doing to solve climate change? And the only thing that they're doing is basically padding their wallets so that the richest people are able to fortify their compounds, against the war, against the famine, against everything that's going to happen as a result.
We have a few people getting extremely wealthy at the expense of the future of the planet. And the Survivaball is the stupidest looking possible representation of that.
Because it's Climate Week in New York, and Obama and 100 world leaders are meeting to discuss the future, the statement we wanted to make is that we, the people, will not accept them not coming to an agreement that limits greenhouse gases to the point where it will be safe in the future.
And yesterday we distributed a fake copy of the New York Post that said we're screwed and had tons of information that doesn't get out there, like the mayor's report on what will happen to New York City. It was practically not reported at all when it was released in February. It's really dire, and we felt like we had to get that news out there, and so we created a newspaper. And we had to call for volunteers to do that, a lot of volunteers, and people were starting to wonder what we were up to, and so we had to tell them something. So we told them we're launching 100 Survivaballs against the UN, and since we don't go back on our word, that's what we tried to do today. I was a bit surprised by the heaviness of the response. There were not only 3 boats, but also a helicopter and land forces.
And it wasn't just the helicopters. The guy standing outside the helicopter.
If you want to get really viscerally involved, if you feel like the time has come and you got to just take to the streets and risk arrest, the way we apparently just did, you can sign up at beyondtalk.net, pledge to perform civil disobedience in the interest of good climate change policy. You might find yourself in a Survivaball blockading some corporate building in malls across America. You might find yourself in any of thousands of other civil disobedience actions planned for the months ahead, culminating on November 30th, 10th anniversary of Seattle, and 1 week before the Copenhagen climate talks, in a mass civil disobedience action involving 10,000 people worldwide. That's where it's all leading to, beyondtalk.net.